True McDonald's Horror Story Animated by IMR Scary Tales. So I'm guessing this isn't gonna be a series of stories. It says story, so it's gonna be like one big horror story that happened at a McDonald's. Interesting. We all go to McDonald's. Maybe y'all don't, we don't really go in McDonald's no more. We really go through the drive-thru, but we've all been inside of a McDonald's, so we can relate at least to some degree on this story. I've never had a horror story happen to me though, so I'm interested to hear about this, man. Show a lot of love to the video, like, share, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get it.
My name is Jack, and I never believed in the supernatural. Not until that fateful night at a McDonald's in my small Alabama town.
This is about to be crazy, bro.
Out of school, the job was supposed to be a simple way to earn some cash.
Right.
But what transpired that night was anything but simple.
What happened during your shift?
Typically enough, with the usual bustle of customers and the familiar routine of preparing fast food. Fries, burger patties, buns, ice creams, more fries, apologizing to an angry customer.
Oh my gosh.
Your fault. Few online orders here, covering the coffee shifts there.
Yeah.
Just when you sit down to scroll a few mindless TikToks, fries again. However,
I never worked at a McDonald's, but I've worked fast food before.
The customer flow dwindled. An unusual patron caught my attention. A woman in a tattered raincoat. Her hair.
Why she look like that?
Her eyes unnervingly focused on me.
Oh, hell no.
Coffee and sat in a dimly lit corner of the restaurant, her gaze never wandering from my direction.
Don't stare at me.
It actually took me some time to figure that I was being checked out. Now, I don't mean to brag, but I have had my fair share of could cut her with this jawline moments. I was half genetics and half malnutrition that did it.
Malnutrition.
If poverty can make you look sexy, what's the harm, right?
Head in.
Anyway, I tried to shake off the eerie feeling she gave me, dismissing it as mere fatigue or perhaps my imagination running wild.
Okay.
The hours ticked by and the diner gradually emptied, leaving an oppressive silence in its wake.
Oh, you got coworkers there at least?
My coworker, the only other person in the restaurant, suddenly collapsed.
Oh!
The shock of it jolted me from the numbness of my routine.
The hell?
One moment he was washing the fryer and cribbing around his girl who has a thing for his credit cards. The next moment, his face was rushing to meet the ground. I rushed to his side, finding him unconscious but breathing. I grabbed him and somehow managed to get him to his car.
That's sudden.
Advising him to get some sleep. His girlfriend's place was 2 blocks away, so even though I offered to drop him, he was sure that he was fine.
Bro, I've been so tired at work that I've like kind of nodded off while standing up. Like you'll go up against the counter, kind of lean up against the counter, start nodding off. I can fall asleep in damn near any position when I'm tired enough, bro. Standing up, I can fall asleep. I gotta lean against something. I've never just stood up and like not been leaning against some shit and fell asleep. But this dude fainted. That ain't just tiredness, dog. That ain't just, he ain't just tired. Oh no.
I don't know, bro, he said. Yo, one moment I was fine, and then it felt like, I don't know, like I was tied to a tree and people were burning fire all around me. The temperature rose and dropped, bro. I tell you, that refrigerator is going to be the death of me.
Oh, hell no.
Broken, yo. The parking lot was quiet, almost that
audio cut out?
Broken, yo. The parking lot was quiet.
I don't know what that was.
Almost unnaturally so, and I felt a chill in the air as I watched him drive away.
Now you in there by yourself.
I found the woman had left.
Okay, she left.
The raincoat remained, hanging over the back of the chair like a spectral reminder of her presence. Approaching her table, I noticed something peculiar.
She left that on purpose, bro. You wouldn't just leave your raincoat.
On it, in jagged, almost frantic handwriting, was a message that sent a shiver down my spine.
What'd it say?
Convince them, or they will think it is you. The words were ominous, cryptic, and
what does that mean?
I pondered their meaning, a growing sense of unease.
Oh, no.
And as the night deepened, strange and disturbing sounds began to fill the diner. It started with soft, desperate pleas for help, voices that seemed to come from nowhere.
Bro, what the hell is going on here?
Then came the screams.
Screams?
Cries that echoed through the empty restaurant, filled with pain and terror. To my growing horror, the distant crackling sound of a fire joined the party, intensifying in volume and urgency.
Bro, what the hell?
The situation was soon spiraling into madness. I decided to leave, to escape the nightmare that was unfolding around me. But my escape was thwarted when I found the door inexplicably locked. sealed shut from the inside. I had the keys and I dropped my colleague Bill to his car.
Bro.
There was no way someone would have closed it.
How you get locked inside the restaurant? You about to get damn attacked is what you're about to get. Hell nah, bro. This man over here, I don't know what to call this. Panic attack, hallucination. He ain't seen nothing yet, but he hearing things. Oh no, somebody, hey, this lady drugged y'all somehow, bro. Gotta be.
My attempts to open it to the back tile.
The sound cut out again.
So I turned,
Why does it keep doing that?
Ignored the voices and the screams and rushed.
I don't know if it's cutting out for y'all, but I keep losing
certain
sound.
At this point that whatever was happening wouldn't bring any good news. But this is when I knew that I was screwed. The back door was sealed shut as well.
Oh.
The realization that I was trapped inside with the escalating sounds of terror was paralyzing.
Man, hell no.
Once a place of mundane work had transformed into a scene from a horror story. The cryptic message.
What does that even mean?
The
Convince them where they'll think it was you.
All these elements intertwined, creating a tapestry of fear and confusion.
This girl to kill somebody.
I was caught in the midst of it, alone and bewildered, facing a night that was quickly turning into something else.
Then he running.
Trapped inside the diner, the cacophony of screams and the crackling fire growing around me.
Crackling fire.
Reality began to blur at the edges. The diner, once a haven of greasy comfort food, had transformed into a nightmarish landscape. I felt a primal fear take hold, the kind that grips you in the dead of the night, when every shadow seems alive. As I paced frantically, searching for any means of escape, the diner's lights.
Oh no, bro!
Shadows across the wall.
And he's seeing things.
It was then that I first saw them. Horrifying apparitions, figures with severe burn injuries.
What the hell?
Expressions contorted in pain and anger. They seemed to notice me, reaching out with charred hands.
Nigga, you better run.
As soon as they touched me.
I don't know what drug this dude is on, but I think it was that girl that had to have put him on it somehow without him noticing. Maybe she slipped something to the drink. I don't know. She did them dirty. Damn.
Their presence was both terrifying and heart-wrenching. In a desperate attempt to understand what was happening, I ventured into the back of the restaurant, a section I rarely visited. There, hidden behind old storage racks, I discovered a decayed part of the building I never knew existed. I mean, I had been there a few times, but I could swear that there was a wall at that place. That was somehow gone. In its place was a small, dusty room that looked out of place.
I'm not walking in there.
Something from the past that didn't belong.
I'm not walking in there.
The walls of this
room. Let's walk right on in.
Old yellowed newspaper clippings. My eyes were drawn to a headline that sent chills down my spine. Devastating fire at local business claims numerous lives.
Oh.
The date was decades ago, but then I read something which sent chills down my spine.
What?
The articles detailed a tragic fire that had occurred on these very premises back when it was a bustling furniture market. Worse yet, amidst the images.
So it got rebuilt into a McDonald's?
I saw a few familiar faces. The faces in the photos matched the apparition.
Oh, no, you getting attacked by the
realization hit me like a ton of bricks. The apparitions, the sounds, they were all echoes of this tragic past. But the horror didn't stop there. As I returned, the ghosts became more aggressive. Objects began to fly off shelves.
And a knife!
By unseen forces. Knives from the kitchen counter were thrown in my direction, narrowly missing me. Scorching handprints appeared on the walls, leaving behind a smell of burnt flesh.
Oh no! He dodging
the flying debris, my mind racing. The diner was a tomb, a site of
trying to smack you with the tray, the trash can,
and I was trapped within it. The spirits of those lost in the fire were restless, their pain and anger palpable. They were reaching out to me as I ran for the door again, only to find it locked.
Bro, shoulder bars.
So I ran. Amidst the chaos, I stumbled upon more clippings, revealing another layer to the tragedy. There were rumors of foul play, suspicions that the fire was no accident.
Oh, somebody started the fire.
Mr. Sanders was suspected of setting the blaze for insurance money. Though nothing was ever proven,
Sanders.
The accusations cast a dark shadow over the tragedy.
Okay.
The atmosphere in the diner shifted again, the temperature dropping suddenly, as if the very air was being sucked away.
Bro, on the real, that's actually kind of crazy how people will really do that. People will like kill people for life insurance policies, insurance, like just to get some money, bro. Y'all dudes is different, man. I know you need money to survive in this world, but you can't be so greedy that you're willing to fuck other people over for the sake of getting you some more money. Don't do that, bro. It's not good, and it doesn't end well for you in the long run. Like, you might have some money, but you ain't gonna have no friends. You ain't gonna have nobody around that trusts you or anyone that you trust. Because generally speaking, when you out here doing things like that, not only do people not trust you, but you don't trust anybody else either, because you thinking, oh, they might do me the way I'm doing them. So you gonna be friendless. But hey, you got money, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It's never worth it. Not to me, anyway.
I felt an unnerving sensation of being watched, followed by something unseen. Each step I took was heavy, filled with dread. The walls of the diner seemed to close in on me, the faces of the victims in the newspaper clippings staring at me.
Now they looking at you.
Then it happened.
So they think you did it. That's what she meant.
Vivid. It was as though I was transported to another time.
Oh?
I found myself inside the burning furniture market, surrounded by flames. The heat was suffocating, the screams of the trapped victims piercing the air. I felt their agony.
They couldn't even get out.
Desperation. It was a glimpse into the hellish final moments.
That'd be so bullshit.
In the fire.
Why does so much stuff blocking the door?
Gasping for air, I understood the depth of the suffering that had occurred here. The diner was not just a building. It was a grave for those lost souls. A place where their pain still lingered.
You gonna build your McDonald's on top of a goddamn, essentially a burial ground, and you gonna not tell nobody? Damn it, man. Whoever built this McDonald's, whoever set this up to get built in this spot, they knew what they was doing. They bogus as hell.
It was a grave for those lost souls. A place where their pain still
Look at the old lady.
Their cries for justice unheard. As I stood there reeling,
they finna go on the attack.
Revelations, I heard a voice call out, "You did this!"
Oh!
And that is when it hit me. These trapped souls mistakenly thought that I was responsible for their deaths.
Oh no.
I knew I had to find a way to calm the spirits, to prove that I was not the one responsible for their anguish.
Right?
The task seemed impossible, but it was the only chance I had to escape this nightmare.
They blaming your ass.
From the terrifying vision of the burning furniture market, I struggled to comprehend the full extent of the tragedy that had unfolded decades ago.
Oh, what happened?
On the ground where the McDonald's now stood. The air in the restaurant felt heavy, charged with the anguish and despair of the lost souls. As I navigated through the chaos of the haunted diner, the temperature fluctuated wildly, plunging into an icy chill before surging to an oppressive heat.
Wait, so did the dude that left the McDonald's went through the same thing before he passed out? Essentially what happened?
Intensified, an invisible presence that seemed to hover just over my shoulder.
Oh no.
Cold against my neck.
Hell
In my
no.
panic state, I remembered the owner, Mr. Sanders, and the accusations leveled against him.
Yep.
Desperate for answers, I scoured the diner for any clues, any remnants of the past that could help me understand.
Okay.
That's when I noticed something I had overlooked before.
What?
A distinct ring with the letter S on Mr. Sanders' finger and an old, framed photograph on the wall. The same ring I had seen on the raincoat woman's.
Oh.
The connection was undeniable.
Why she have it?
Restaurant, once a lively market, now rebuilt, held within its walls the echoes of a cursed past. The whispers of the tragedy were everywhere, in the very fabric.
I still would like to know why she had the ring.
Spirits, tormented and restless,
What,
seemed
donuts?
to be
Okay.
everywhere. Their presence growing stronger, more oppressive with each passing moment. Suddenly, I was gripped by another vision.
Oh.
Intense and terrifying than the first. I was inside the
Damn.
again, but this time I was one of the trapped
Oh.
victims. I could feel the searing heat of the flames, the smoke filling my lungs, the desperation and fear. The screams around me were deafening. I could hear their pleas for help, feel their struggle as the fire consumed everything. Jolted back to reality, I was left gasping for air, my heart racing. The vision had been so vivid, so real that it took me a moment to orient myself.
Right?
The spirits were trying to communicate their pain, their story, through me. As I struggled to make sense of it all, the diner continued to descend into chaos.
Bro,
Objects were still flying off.
how
the
you get out of
shelves,
this?
The ghostly apparitions growing in intensity. And
Leave me
number.
alone. I didn't do
The
nothing.
scorching handprints on the wall seemed to multiply, a terrifying reminder of the fire's deadly grip. It was clear that the spirits mistook me for someone else, someone involved in the tragedy. The weight of their mistaken accusations was a heavy burden, their need for justice and release palpable. I had to find a way to convince them of my innocence.
There was some release.
Their anger and help them find
Release your
peace.
soul from its vessel, goddammit.
Remembering the cryptic message on the tissue left by the woman in the raincoat, I realized what I had to do.
And why she leave her raincoat?
Convince them or they will think it is you, was a warning, a clue to resolving this nightmare. I needed to communicate with the spirits, to let them know I was not the one responsible for their suffering. As the spirits converged on me, their anger reaching a fever pitch, I remembered the woman's abandoned raincoat. Driven by instinct, I searched it and found the ring with the distinct S.
Okay.
It was a piece of the puzzle, a connection to the past.
What you gonna do?
Tragedy.
I know you ain't gonna put it on.
To Mr. Sanders himself. With the
Break
ring
it?
in hand, I prepared to confront the spirits, to share my revelation and hopefully bring them the peace they so desperately sought. The diner was a whirlwind of paranormal activity, with apparitions manifesting more aggressively than ever. Kitchen utensils.
Can y'all imagine being in this scenario, bro?
Invisible, furious
You'd never be the
hands,
same again.
narrowly missing me as I ducked and weaved through the chaos.
Oh my
The once
goodness.
familiar signs and menus came crashing down around me, creating a cacophony of noise and confusion. Amidst this turmoil, messages began appearing on the windows.
Oh,
mirrors,
please,
scrawled
please,
in
please,
what
please.
looked like soot.
Help.
The words were desperate pleas for help, interspersed with vows of revenge. It was as if the tormented souls of the fire victims were reaching out through every available surface.
Yeah, they gonna get
seeking
revenge.
justice or
They gonna
release
get you.
from their eternal suffering.
They want to get you.
The realization that the
Can't let 'em.
spirits mistook me for someone connected to their tragedy was a terrifying burden.
Hell yeah.
Tell me is the key to their release or revenge.
Shit, even if it wasn't ghosts and spirits, imagine being in a room full of people that want nothing more than to kill the person that they think wronged them and they think is your ass. And you have a very limited amount of time to convince them that it wasn't you, because it really wasn't you, but they don't know that. Oh no, dog. Oh no.
To their tragedy was a terrifying burden. They saw me as the key to their release or revenge, perhaps because of my presence in this cursed place. I recalled the woman's ominous words on the tissue. Convince them or they will think it is you. It was a warning, a directive that I now understood all too well.
Okay.
As I clutched the ring with the distinct...
I was gonna say, does he have to break it or
symbol
something?
Connecting me to the past, to Mr. Sanders, to the woman in the raincoat, I prepared to make my stand. The spirits converged on me, their ethereal forms swirling with anger and pain. I felt their eyes upon me, their gaze heavy with accusation. In a moment of desperate courage, I raised my voice. "I'm not who you think I am!"
Okay.
I shouted, my words seemingly lost in the chaos.
Ain't right, that
But I
shit.
pressed on, driven by a need to quell their anger and bring them peace. I explained that I had no connection to the fire, to the tragedy that had befallen them. I was just a worker at the diner, unwittingly caught in the midst of their anguish.
Okay.
Holding up the ring, I implored them to see the truth. The ring was a symbol, a piece of the past that I had inadvertently become entwined with. I spoke of the woman in the raincoat, her mysterious message, and how I came to find myself in possession of the ring.
Right.
The apparitions paused, their forms flickering as if in doubt. The intensity of their anger seemed to wane,
Okay.
replaced by a cautious curiosity.
Yeah.
It was a moment of respite, a chance for me to reach out to them further.
This is what we need right here.
Pleaded with them to understand, to recognize that I was not the architect of their suffering. I spoke of my own fears and confusion, of being thrust into a nightmare I could not comprehend. My words were a mix of apology and explanation, a desperate plea for understanding. As I spoke, the chaos around me began to subside. The flying objects settled, the crashing signs stilled, and the messages on the mirrors and windows faded.
Yeah.
The spirits, their forms less menacing now, seemed to be listening.
Yeah.
Their need for vengeance giving way to a desire for the truth. In that moment, I realized the power of acknowledgement, of giving voice to the pain and suffering of those long silenced.
Okay.
Spirits, bound by their tragic past, were seeking recognition, a chance to be heard and understood.
Yeah.
Kneeling amidst the settling chaos of the diner, I clutched the ring tightly, a symbol of a tragic past that had inadvertently become part of my present.
Okay.
The spirits, now less aggressive, hovered around me, their forms flickering with residual anger and confusion. Gathering all the courage I had left,
Hey, man.
I addressed
Better
the
talk.
spirits, my voice echoing in the now eerily silent restaurant. I killed him, I declared, the words heavy with a significance I had only just begun to understand.
Who you kill?
The spirits froze, their ethereal forms still, as if processing my confession. I explained, my voice trembling but resolute, that my father had worked in the furniture shop that once stood here.
Okay.
He perished in the fire, a victim of the tragedy that had claimed so many lives. Years later,
That's messed
driven
up.
by a need for justice and retribution, I had sought out Mr. Sanders, the man suspected of causing the inferno. In a moment of vengeance, I had confronted him, leading to his death.
Oh. Damn. So one of the people that died in that furniture store was his dad. And he suspected that the dude was like the cause, but like, yeah, bro, you burnt this furniture store to the ground to get some money. And my dad was one of the people that died. And he came and murdered him. Damn. Okay. Didn't see that coming. Goodness.
The spirits listened, their forms becoming less intimidating, more ethereal. One by one, they began to vanish, their apparitions dissolving into the air, a sign that they were finally finding peace.
Okay.
The knowledge that Sanders, the alleged architect of their suffering, was no longer of this world, seemed to bring them the closure.
Hey, they finna go back to the world of the ghosts and beat his ass.
Disappeared, the
Jump that
diner
nigga.
returned to its normal state. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, replaced by a surreal calm. I was left alone, the weight of the night's revelations heavy upon me. The door, previously locked, clicked open, as if signifying the end of the ordeal.
Yeah.
As I stepped outside, taking in the cool night air, I saw her, the woman in the raincoat. She approached me, her expression a mixture of gratitude and sorrow. She revealed herself to be Sanders' daughter. She explained that on her previous visits to the diner, she had experienced hostility from the spirits, drawn to the family ring she carried, a ring that once belonged to her father. Realizing the connection, she had devised a plan. By leaving the coat and locking the door, she hoped to create a scenario where the spirits, believing
How she locked the door,
would find salvation. Her actions, though drastic, were driven by a desire to appease the restless souls, including that of my father. I listened, a mix of emotions swirling.
You gotta see me for at least 10 seconds and then we good.
And a strange sense of kinship with this woman who had, in her own way, sought to right the wrongs of the past. Her apology was sincere, and in the bizarre turn of events that had unfolded, I found myself forgiving her. In a surprising gesture, she asked me out on a date, a small but significant step towards healing and moving forward from the horrors of the past. We stood there, two people connected by a shared history of loss and suffering, looking towards a future where the pain of the past could finally be laid to rest. As I walked away,
so now they're about to be a couple
breaking over the horizon.
He was in there all night.
Of closure. The spirits of the fire victims had found peace, and with them, a part of me had found peace too. The diner, once a site of tragedy, now stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, and the power of truth and reconciliation.
Damn. Okay. This was a really good story, bro, with a crazy ending. I liked it, bro. I was enjoying that story, dog. Okay, I see you, IMR Scary Tales, for putting that together. Now, obviously, this probably wasn't a true story. This was just a scary story that he made, but it was good. It was good. It was entertaining. I liked every part of it, man. That shit would be crazy to go through, like, in reality, bro. Like, goddamn, dog. Have any of y'all ever had a paranormal experience? Y'all let me know about it down in the comments, man. I like reading that kind of stuff. Y'all ever had anything crazy paranormal happen to y'all? Tell me about it, bro. And yeah, man, that's gonna do it for this true McDonald's horror story animated, bruh. Make sure y'all show a lot of love to this video, like, share, and subscribe. Hit me up with suggestions down in the comment section. Hit a like before you leave this video, bruh. Go ahead and drop the like on me. You know what I'm talking about? Appreciate that. We almost at 5,000 subscribers. Let's get there. Now, I'm about to go ahead and get up out of this thing. This is boy Dairu signing out. Peace.